I thought it was just another normal evening. Until my husband's best friend slipped a cold metal key into my hand and whispered something that made my heart stop. "You deserve to know the truth. But you didn't get this from me." I stared at the key. And in that moment, my entire marriage began to unravel. For 7 years, I believed I had the perfect life. My husband Daniel was successful, charming, and the kind of man everyone trusted instantly. We had a beautiful house, stable routines, and a relationship that at least on the surface seemed strong. But sometimes, perfection hides the deepest secrets. Daniel worked long hours as a real estate manager. Late meetings were normal. Business trips happened often. I trusted him. Or at least, I thought I did. His best friend Mark had been part of our lives since college. He was practically family. Quiet, thoughtful, and always the one who noticed things others missed. But over the last few months, I noticed something strange. Every time Daniel mentioned certain work trips, Mark would go silent. At first I ignored it. Until the night everything changed. It happened on a rainy Thursday evening. Daniel had left for another late business meeting. Mark had come over earlier to return a toolbox Daniel had borrowed. I was making tea when Mark walked into the kitchen. He looked uneasy, like someone carrying a heavy secret. "Is everything okay?" I asked. He hesitated. Then he reached into his pocket and placed a small silver key on the counter. My heart started racing. "What is this?" I asked. Mark looked straight at me. His voice was low. "An apartment key." I frowned. "Why are you giving this to me?" He paused, then said something I will never forget. "Because it's Daniel's." The room suddenly felt smaller. "What do you mean?" I whispered. Mark rubbed his forehead. "I shouldn't be the one telling you this, but you deserve the truth." I stared at the key again. And suddenly, I wasn't sure. I wanted to know what door it opened. Mark slid a small piece of paper across the counter. An address. Across town. A building I had never heard of. "He goes there twice a week," Mark said quietly. My stomach twisted. "Are you saying he's cheating?" Mark shook his head slowly. "I don't know exactly what he's doing there." That answer made it worse. My mind raced with possibilities. Secrets. Lies. Another life. "Why are you telling me this now?" I asked. Mark looked down. "Because tonight, he's there." Silence filled the kitchen. The rain outside tapped against the windows. And the key suddenly felt heavier in my hand. I should have ignored it. I should have trusted my husband. But something deep inside me said, the truth was waiting behind that door. 30 minutes later, I was driving across the city. My hands gripped the steering wheel so tightly my knuckles turned white. The address led to a quiet apartment complex. Nothing fancy. Nothing suspicious. Just a normal building. Which somehow made everything worse. I sat in the car for 5 minutes trying to calm my racing thoughts. Then I walked inside. The hallway smelled faintly of old carpet and cleaning chemicals. Apartment 304. The numbers stared back at me like a challenge. I pulled the key out of my pocket. My heart pounded in my chest. What if another woman opened the door? What if my entire life collapsed in the next 30 seconds? I slowly slid the key into the lock. Click. The door opened. The apartment was quiet. Dark. Empty. Not what I expected. I stepped inside carefully. The place was fully furnished but simple. A couch. A desk. A bookshelf. But what caught my attention immediately was the wall. Covered in photographs. Dozens of them. My breath caught. They were pictures of Daniel. But not recent ones. Old photos. From years ago. Before we met. College. Friends. Family. Memories frozen in time. Then I noticed something else. A large whiteboard in the center of the room. Notes. Dates. Medical documents. My stomach dropped. At the top of the board were 2 words written in black marker. Treatment plan. Suddenly the bedroom door creaked open. And Daniel stepped out. For a moment we just stared at each other. Shock frozen on both our faces. Emily. He said quietly. My voice trembled. What is this place? Daniel looked around the apartment like someone caught in a storm. Then he sighed. The kind of sigh that carries years of weight. I didn't want you to find out like this. My heart pounded. Find out what? Daniel sat down slowly. Then he said the words that changed everything. I've been sick. The room went silent. He explained everything. A rare neurological condition. Diagnosed 8 months ago. Unpredictable. Progressive. He had been secretly meeting doctors and specialists here. Because he didn't want me to see him slowly fall apart. He wanted time. Time to find treatment. Time to stay strong for me. Time before our world changed. Tears filled my eyes. You should have told me. I whispered. He shook his head gently. I didn't want your life to become this. I walked over and sat beside him. Then I took his hand. My life already is this, I said softly. Later that night, Daniel explained Mark's involvement. Mark had been helping him manage appointments. Keeping the secret. Supporting him. But recently Mark started feeling guilty. Because he believed I deserved to know the truth. Which is why he gave me the key. Daniel smiled faintly. He's a terrible liar. He admitted. I laughed weakly through my tears. That night we stayed in the apartment talking for hours. For the first time in months. There were no secrets. No pretending. Just honesty. And something strange happened. Instead of fear tearing us apart, it brought us closer. Sometimes the truth doesn't destroy a marriage. Sometimes it saves it. Weeks later, the apartment became something different. Not a secret place anymore. But a place where we faced the future together. Daniel still kept the key. But now, I had one too. Because some doors aren't meant to be opened alone.